We're starting in child's pose. Just take a few deep, slow, steady breaths. Understand that your child's pose is a restorative pose. You can come to child's pose whenever a downward facing dog feels just a little bit too much this morning. If you need a little break for the shoulders, the wrists, you can come back here and just take a nice, deep, slow, steady inhale. And just feel the passage of air from the nostrils all the way down to the belly, into the sides and the back of the rib cage. And as you exhale, you feel the breath moving upwards and outwards. Let's try just to breathe only through our nose now. On your next inhale, gently transcend into your box position, your tabletop spine. And when we come to tabletop, we make sure the hands are positioned correctly, fingertips pointing straight ahead and shoulders stacked up nicely over the wrists. And as we take our first inhale in this pose, we're going to think about lifting the head and lifting the chest, softening the elbows as we start to backward bend here into our cow pose. So think of your cow pose as not only a backward bend, but first and foremost, a stretch for the front of the body. So lift the chest, lift the heart, inhale. And then as you exhale, tuck in the tailbone, pushing into the palms of the hands and taking this lovely flexion into the spine where we come into our cat stretch now, stretching out all the muscles and fascia on the back of the body. On the inhale, soft elbows, lift the head and heart, cow pose. And as you exhale, tuck in the tailbone, pressing into the hands, tucking in the chin. And as you flow into cat stretch, I'm just going to do a few more rounds as we warm up the back, stretching and opening on the inhale. And then tucking underneath, flexing and stretching out everything on the back of the body on your exhales. Inhale, lifting head and heart for cow pose. And exhale, tucking the tailbone, pulling in the navel, pushing into the hands. Cat stretch. One more time, flow to cow on the in-breath, lift the head and heart. And tuck to cat stretch. On the exhale, pressing through your hands, through your fingertips, tucking your tailbone. And then inhaling back into your tabletop pose. From here, take your right leg and stretch your right leg out as far as you can. So I'm just going to spin myself around so you can see. With the right leg stretched out, the sole of the foot is on the mat. The shoulders are over the wrists. And you're just going to start by opening your hips a little bit more by rocking forward and backwards. If you're on a really hard floor and your knee feels uncomfortable, you can just start to pad up the knee by folding up your mat. Or if you have a blanket there, you can pop the blanket underneath your knee. You just rock forward and backwards and then try to adjust your foot out a little bit wider, a little bit further so you can feel more stretching in the inner thigh and the adductor muscles of your hip. Let's just do one more. And take the knee back in and switch sides. The left leg stretches out. Let the sole of the foot rest down, stacking up the wrists with the shoulders. And then you start to just make your little rocking action forward and back again, stretching out the inner edge of that leg and thigh. Just gently rocking forward and back. There we are. And if you can now, you can move your foot out a little bit further. There we are. Feeling your hips, making the little adjustments, perhaps clicking and popping. Let's just get two more. Rocking backwards, rocking forwards, and then taking yourself back into your tabletop position, 4-point kneeling. On your next inhale, lift your knees away from the floor. And then as you exhale, start to find your way into your downward facing dog. So the downward facing dog is an upside down V shape that you're trying to create here. You want to think about how you've grounded yourself with the hands. You're going to spread out the fingers. Going to have sort of active hands, gently clawing the fingertips, pressing into the roots of the fingers, pressing into the heels of the hands, pushing your shoulders away from your ears. Take a nice deep inhale. Try to let the weight of your head just hang freely from your neck. No tension in the shoulders. Try to separate your shoulder blades themselves and wrap them around towards your armpits to create this really strong upper body. And then your knees can stay slightly bent. If your hamstrings are tight, keep your knees bent. But if you can, just stretch out the legs, press your heels towards the mat to get the most stretching in the back of the body. And then we're going to just walk the dog, pedal it out here for 4, for 3, for 2, last 1. Exhale, push the heels gently towards your mat. And as you inhale, lift your gaze, rise to tippy toes, and then step forward to the top of the mat. Right foot comes through first. Match it with the left. Let your whole body just drape down over your legs. The crown of your head hangs down towards the floor. Take your hands and hold your forearms and wrists, ragdoll fold. And you can just add a little bit of movement in the ragdoll here. Gently sway your body, right side and left side. Sort of working out where the back is feeling tight. And then release the hands back down to the floor. And as you inhale, take the hands now to the shins as you make a tabletop spine, a half fold, halfway up. And then a full fold all the way down, forehead through the shins, lift the sit bones, stretch out the hamstrings. And then soft knees, inhale to rise all the way up to the top of the mountain. Bring the palms together here. Exhale, draw the thumbs down to your heart center. And then back to your mountain pose. Sun salutation this morning. Inhale, reach and rise. Big stretch, lift the head, lift the heart, look to your thumbs. As you exhale, swan dive all the way down to the mat, full fold, exhale. As you inhale, half fold, tabletop spine. And then as you exhale, stepping back into a plank pose. Align the wrists and shoulders. You can drop to your knees if you wish. Chaturanga, keep the elbows in tight, chin and chest to the mat, exhale down. Inhale, lifting through the gate of the shoulders into an upward facing dog or a cobra. And then exhale, rolling over the toes as you ease yourself back into your down dog. So holding the position, we're here for about 5 breaths. I want you just to try to find a little bit more space with the breath. So as you inhale, think of elongating your spine. As you exhale, think of grounding down through the feet, through the hands. Think of hollowing in through the pelvis, drawing your tummy muscles in towards the spine. And if you want to walk, dog and pedal out, you're welcome, of course, to do that here. One more inhale. One more exhale. On your next in-breath, rise to the tippy toes, look to the top of the mat. Step, jump or hop, come to the top of the mat. On your exhale, we release down to full fold. And as we inhale, we upward salute and rise all the way up to the top of the mountain. Bring your palms together here, interlace your fingers, cross your thumbs, release the index fingers. Ready to flow into our half moon. Toes and heels together if you can. Big stretch up to the top. As you inhale, push your upper body towards the right side and your hips out and away towards the left side so that you get a nice stretch through the side of the body. Try to make sure your arms are actively reaching out from the elbows as you push your hips actively over and away to the left side. Press the heels of your hands together. Experience a side body stretch, but without collapsing into the right side of your body. Try to keep both sides of your waist long as you reach a little deeper. And then inhale all the way back up. Big stretch up to the top of the mountain. And then exhale as you go over to the opposite side. Pushing your hips out and away now to the right side as you stretch and reach and lengthen your body over to the left. Point with the fingers, push the hips away. No twisting. Elongation through both sides of the waist, big stretch. And then take your next inhale to come all the way up to the top of the mountain. And as you exhale, we're going to swan dive all the way down to the floor. Full fold on the exhale. Inhale, half fold. As you exhale, step or jump back into your plank pose. Take chaturanga, chin and chest down. Inhale, lift through the gate of the shoulders and up for cobra or upward facing dog. And as you exhale, shift and lift your hips up and back as you come into your down dog. Again, spreading out the fingers, holding your upside down V shape. And if you've got any niggles with your shoulders and you need to drop to child's pose, that's okay. Just let the head, neck and shoulders relax. Try to push into the hands, lift the hips, try to keep stretching into your down dog variation. Bend your knees if you need to. Push and press through the ankles and the feet if you want. You can walk that dog Or you can just be still in the pose. Exhaling, pressing through the earth with the feet and the hands. Inhaling, lifting the gaze, rise to tippy toes, step, jump or hop forward, top of your mat. Get the exhale here, all the way down. As you inhale, upward salute to rise, big stretch all the way up, come to the top of the mountain. Bring your palms together here, interlace fingers, cross thumbs. Push and point the fingertips to the sky, and then press your hips forward as we come into a backward bend. Lift your heart. Backward bending is perfectly normal, natural movement for the spine, but we don't do it often enough. Many of the tasks that we do in our daily life make us tight through the chest, the shoulders, and tight into these backward bends, so it can feel a little bit strange. If you can think of grounding through your feet, pressing the pelvis forward, lifting the chest upward, and then reaching back as far as you feel you can with your arms. You can take the arms and make a cactus or a goalpost shape now, pressing the backs of the hands towards the mat. Keep lifting your chest, opening through the upper part of the body, the upper part of the spine. Just one more inhale. One more exhale. And as we inhale, we're on the move back to the upward salute. Look to your thumbs. As you exhale, bend your knees as you come down into your full fold. Release the neck, shoulders. Inhale, half fold, tabletop spine. Exhale, step or jump back into your plank pose. Take your chaturanga from your knees or toes. Inhale, lift through the gate of the shoulders and up into cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, shift and lift, rolling over your toes. Stay here in down dog. This time, as you exhale, press your heels gently to the mat. As you inhale, lift your gaze, look to the top of your mat and rise to tippy toes. Right foot only steps forward between your hands. Left foot spins down onto the floor. And we inhale, we rise to warrior one. Warrior one pose, the pelvic bones here and here. You're trying to open towards the front foot, towards the top of the mat. You're reaching up with your arms overhead and you're pressing firmly down with your back leg to stretch the back leg, ankle, calf, and you open the hips, turning the hips towards the top of the mat, lifting the chest. You can create a little bit of backward bend here. Opening body, nice inhale. As you exhale, you're just going to drop the arms out for warrior two. So the thing that changes is the position of the pelvis and the arms, really. We just turn the hips, the legs stay the same. And the eyes are looking to the fingertips now of that right hand. Warrior two pose, try to tuck your butt and try to activate the abductor muscles, the glutes here, by pushing your knee out in line with the pinky toe. Warrior two pose, strength pose, building up strength not only in your legs, in your pelvic floor, but also in your shoulder stabilizers as you reach and lengthen fingertips in either direction. Keep the legs the same, and as you inhale, reverse your warrior, take the right hand to the sky, open your heart. So this is somewhere between a side bend and a back bend. You're going to get stretching through the side of the body. Keep lifting. Try to keep the energy in that back leg, pushing firmly into the pinky toe edge. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then cartwheel your hands down to the floor, frame the front foot, stepping back into your plank pose. Taking chaturanga, but go all the way down, stay down. Release the tops of your feet. Fingertips in line with the top of the shoulders. And as you inhale, lifting into a cobra. So the chest lifts forward through the gate of the shoulders and you're looking straight ahead or perhaps slightly upwards, but we're not crunching our neck. And then exhale gently down. Two more. Inhale, lift the chest into cobra. And exhale gently down. This time, as you inhale, lift to cobra. Turn to look over your right shoulder. Back to center. Turn to look over your left shoulder. Back to center. Gently bring the body down. Tuck your toes, ready to push to plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, push, make a plank. Fingertips pointing ahead, wrists underneath the shoulders. If you need to modify, you can be on your knees. If you've got any wrist injuries or weaknesses, you can choose to come to your forearms, but you're holding it here for 3 more breaths. Feel the tension in the abdominals. Keep breathing. Inhale. And exhale 1 more time. Breathing in. Breathing out. Move your right hand to the center of the mat and twist and open into side plank. Again, you can be on your knees. You could be on your feet. Keep the waist lifted. Keep the tummy tight. On your exhale, switching down now, so the opposite side. Left hand to the center of the mat. Right hand lifts to the sky. Make a side plank. Lift the waist. Tension in the tummy. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more breath. Gently bring the wrists underneath the line of the shoulders. As you exhale, lifting into your down dog. Pressing through the balls of both feet. Separating the shoulder blades, bringing the weight to your heels. On your next inhale, rise to the tippy toes. Left foot steps through for warrior 1. Left foot to the top of the mat between your hands. Right foot spins and lands. Inhale, lifting the upper body, squaring up the pelvis to the top of the mat, warrior 1. Try to really root down through your back foot. So the tendency will be that your foot will try to roll in towards the big toe edge of the foot. So try to feel contact through the outer edge of that back foot. Tighten up the thigh muscle, push into both feet, lifting the torso away from the legs, opening your heart, stretching out the spine, the legs. Just 1 more breath in warrior 1. And then as you exhale, drop the arms into warrior 2. Left leg is out in front, so the eyes are focused to the left hand. Fingertips, the knees nicely stacked over the ankle. We're building up strength in our legs, but we're also, stretching out the inner thighs, stretching out the calves. Try to think of your left knee and push it out towards the pinky toe edge of your foot. Try to tuck your tailbone underneath and sink a little bit deeper into your warrior legs. Taking a nice deep inhale. A nice steady exhale. And on your inhale, left hand to the sky, reverse your warrior, peaceful warrior pose. Looking upwards, somewhere between that side bend and backward bend, stretching out down the sideline of the body, stretching out the hips. Still active with your right foot, pushing firmly down into the mat beneath you. Inhale. 1 more breath here in the pose. And cartwheel the hands down to the floor as you exhale. Step back into your plank. Chaturanga all the way down, chest down, toes down, tops of the feet. As you inhale, lift for cobra. As we exhale, cobra down. And again, as you inhale, it's the stretch through the front of the body we're feeling. And then exhale gently down. This time, as you inhale, come up, hold it. Turn to look over your right shoulder towards your right foot. Back to center. Turn to look over your left shoulder. Back to center. And then gently exhaling all the way down. Push to plank pose, knees or toes. Inhale. Exhale, push up. Plank pose. Hold your plank pose. Remember your option, you can choose. You can drop it to the knees. You can even drop it down to the forearms if you need to. But what you want to do is develop that core strength. So holding your plank pose, tightening through the abdominals. Right hand to the center of the mat, left hand lifts into side plank. Stack the shoulders, lift the waist. Hold your pose, lengthening through the whole of the spine, strong through the sides of the body. Switch to change, left hand to the mat, right hand to the sky, opening up through your side plank. Holding your positions, pushing, pressing, active arm balance. And then slowly round into your front plank position. From here, lift and shift into your downward facing dog. Create that upside down V shape again. Clawing the fingertips, pressing through the roots of the fingers, pressing the hips to the sky. Let the tension of your neck go. Push down into your heels. As you inhale, rise to three-legged dog. So rise to tippy toes, right leg comes to the sky. Bend your right knee and then start to stir the pot. Right knee making some nice hip mobility for you now, circles. And then right knee circles back round the other way. Let's flip the dog. Right leg goes up, right leg drops over, right hand lifts, turn your chest to the sky. Let's circle the arm. So the flip dog is kind of somewhere between like a little bridge pose, a reverse plank pose. Change the direction, get the circles going the other way. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, flip back into your three-legged dog. Hold your three-legged dog, come forward in 3 points, 3-point balance here, and chaturanga down. Exhale, chin and chest. Inhale through the gate of the shoulders and up into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, shift and lift into your down dog. Coming back to down dog, rooting down through the hands and through the feet. Exhale here. Let the tension of your neck just drop away. As you inhale, rise to tippy toes. Left leg comes up, bend your knee, three-legged dog. Stir the pot with this left knee, round and round, getting this hip mobility. And then change the direction on that left knee, round and round. And then let the left knee flop and drop over to the right side of your mat, turning your left hand to the sky, lifting the pelvis. There we are. And when you flip, you can circle your arm. And if you choose not to flip this morning, that's completely fine. You can stay with a down dog variation. And then lift your hips as you inhale. As you exhale, flip through to three-legged dog. As you inhale, transition forward, three-legged plank. And exhale all the way down to the mat. As you inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest for cobra or upward facing dog. And as you exhale, shift and lift into your down dog. From your down dog position, let the neck, the shoulders relax and step your feet out nice and wide. Wide-legged foot position here, pressing down into the balls of your feet. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Palms of the hands on the mat, hips are lifted, head down. So what you've got is a wide leg forward fold. If you've got tight hamstrings, the best thing to do is to take a really wide stance so that you can get your head a little closer to the ground. Bring more weight to the balls of your feet, stretch your spine. Nothing needs to be forced here, remember. Head down, hips lifted. Just breathe. One more inhale, turn your heels inwards, point your toes outwards, and then start to squat down into your Hindi squat. There we are. So we transition from our wide leg forward fold into our Hindi squat. The feet a little bit closer. I've got my heels down, you can see that, but sometimes people have their heels up. You know, they've got really tight Achilles and calves, and that's absolutely fine. Just let gravity work here, pulling your butt down a little closer to the floor. And then using your upper body strength, press your knees out wide so that you get the stretch through your inner thighs and your groin. And gently rock right side and left side. There we are. That feels nice, doesn't it? Releasing the tension from your hips, your inner thighs. Let's just do 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Drop your hands down to the mat. Start to walk forward into a tabletop pose. Align the wrists, align the knees. And as you inhale, stretch to a 2-point balance. So this is about reaching and lengthening while remaining in a nice aligned position. So get your fingertips and really reach, and then flex this back foot and lift your heel to really activate your buttock. You can stay here, but if you can, sweep the arm round, catch hold of the foot, lift the toes a little higher, lift the chest a little higher. Bow, like a half bow pose. Lift your knee, lift your thigh, lift your chest, hold your position. Don't forget to breathe. And gently we release and we're ready to do the opposite side. So it starts just with the 2-point balance. As you prepare to stretch and lengthen, think of your inhale reaching lifting the chest, reaching, elongating through the fingertips, balancing nicely on 2 points. Lift the chest, pull in through the abdominals, reach a little longer, activate the back buttock by flexing the foot, and then sweeping round if you can. Catch the toes, lift the foot a little higher into that bow. There we are. Kick it up a little higher, lift the chest a little more, stretch the quads, the hip flexors, the abdomen, the chest. One more breath here, and then gently exhale, release. As you release, moving your body into your child's pose, pushing the hips back, bringing the forehead down. And then if you can, just cross your ankles in this child's pose. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Push yourself over. Come back round into cross-legged pose. From your cross-legged pose, take your right hand and push the right palm down. And then think of your spine being really straight until you get up to the neck. Pushing the right hand down to the floor to bring the shoulder on this side into the right position. And then just gently taking your ear over to the opposite side, over towards the left side. And what you feel stretching is through the side of your neck. And the more you press into the right palm, lengthening the arm and shoulder down, and the more you encourage your neck to flex to the left side, the deeper the stretch will be through your neck. Releasing tension from the neck. Great one to do, especially if you spend a lot of time at a desk or a computer. Great way to start and finish your day. And slowly release. As you release, your neck comes back to center. We take the opposite hand, palm down. Slide the fingers underneath the buttocks. Lengthen through the whole of your spine. And then just gently let your right ear drop over towards the right shoulder. And be really mindful that you don't bring your shoulder up to meet your ear. It's the ear going towards the shoulder that you're after. And then bring your hands and rest it on the side of your head. Pushing gently down through the palm, through the heel of the hand. Stretching out the muscles of your neck. Just taking some nice deep breaths. And you're in charge of how much resistance you want there, pushing down through one palm, gently easing the neck into the stretch with the opposite side. And then gently release, bring your head and neck back to center, rest your hands gently against your knees or thighs. Turn as if you're looking right over your right shoulder. And then turn the head to look over the left shoulder. One more time each side. And again, little adjustments of your neck. Back to center. Inhale, let's reach up, big stretch all the way up to the top of the mountain. Bring your palms together here to touch. And then as you exhale, the thumbs come down. We touch our heart center. We gently bow our head. Namaste. Thank you for joining in this morning. It's been a little half-hour rise and shine flow. Thank you.